Welcome, dear traveler. Tonight, you will ascend an ancient watchtower standing at the edge of a sleeping kingdom. The night is clear, the stars are many, the silence is deep and kind. You will stand at the top of old stone and look out over a world at rest. You will be the peaceful guardian of this night, and in guarding it, you will find your own rest. Before we begin, if these stories bring you peace, please subscribe. New medieval tales arrive each week to help you sleep, to calm your mind, to carry you gently to rest. Your support allows more stories to be told. Thank you for being here tonight. Now, settle yourself. Let your body find its most comfortable place. Let your weight fall fully into whatever holds you. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do. Only this, only now. Only this soft invitation to rest. Let your eyes close if they wish, or soften them. Let your gaze go unfocused. Whatever feels natural. You are safe. You are held. The night is with you. Begin to notice your breathing. Do not change it. Simply notice the air entering, the air leaving, the quiet miracle your body performs without thought, without effort, without ceasing. Breathe in slowly. Feel the cool air arriving, filling you, expanding you, bringing calm, bringing clarity. Breathe out slowly. Feel the warm air departing, carrying what you no longer need, creating space, creating quiet. In, cool, wide, open, out, warm, slow, released. Let each breath be a little longer, a little softer, a little more complete. Your body already knows this, has always known this. You only need to follow, to trust, to surrender. Your shoulders drop, your hands open, your face softens. Your whole body recognizes this signal, this permission, this long-awaited gift of rest. Breathe in, drawing the night into you. Stars and silence and cool dark air. Breathe out, releasing the day. Everything it carried, everything it asked of you. Gone now, drifting away. The surface beneath you takes your full weight. Every part of you. You do not need to hold yourself. You do not need to stay ready. You can give yourself fully. Let yourself be held. Let yourself be still. In, the stars appear. Out, the world grows quiet. In, the tower stands. Out, the night deepens. Your breathing moves like wind over stone. Effortless, ancient, natural. Each breath a small tide. Coming in, going out, bringing peace. Taking effort. In, out. Tonight you will climb a tower older than memory. You will reach the top. You will look out over a sleeping world. And you will understand something that cannot be said in words, only felt, only known in the body, in the breath, in the bones. The stars will be your companions. The wind will be your voice. The stone beneath your feet will be your certainty. And the silence, the vast, perfect silence of the peaceful night. That will be your gift. Breathe in this moment, this threshold, this readiness. Breathe out everything that was today, everything that might be tomorrow, only now exists. In, the tower waits. Out, the night calls. In, the stars burn. Out, you are ready. Let yourself sink deeper now, heavier, warmer, more still. Your body settles like a stone settling into earth, patient, complete, at rest. The words will carry you now, like wind carries smoke, gently, without effort, without destination. You do not need to hold on to anything. You do not need to understand. Only listen. Only breathe. Only let the night take you. In, open. Out, surrendering. In, ready. Out, home. The tower stands in the darkness. The stars burn above it. The world sleeps below it. And you are invited, called, expected. This night has been waiting for you. This silence has been waiting for you. This rest has been waiting for you. Let us begin. Let us ascend. Let the stars guide. Let the silence hold. Let the peaceful night do what peaceful nights have always done. Carry you home, into rest, into peace, into sleep. All is well. All is quiet. All is ready. The night is here, not the threatening kind, not the kind that makes the chest tight or the mind spin. This night is the other kind, the ancient kind, the kind that existed before worry, before hurry, before all the noise that fills the days. This night is deep and clean and full of stars, and it has been waiting with great patience for exactly this moment, for you to enter it. The forest stands on all sides, old growth, tall, dense, trees that were saplings when the tower was built, when the first stones were set into the earth, when the first guard climbed the first step and looked out over the first quiet night. The trees remember all of this. They hold it. They keep it. The wisdom of thousands of quiet nights lives in their rings and their roots and their reaching branches. A path leads out of the forest, worn, wide enough for one. Packed earth, smooth and certain. It curves around the edge of the tree line and opens into a clearing. And there, at the center of that clearing, the tower stands. Stone, dark with age, round, rising from the earth as if it grew there, as if the stones arranged themselves willingly, reached upward by choice. The tower is not tall enough to touch the clouds, but tall enough to see above everything around it, above the treetops, above the forest fog, high enough to see the curve of the hills, high enough to see the lights of the village far below, high enough to see the stars without interference, without interruption, without anything between the eye and the infinite. The base of the tower is wide, solid. The stones here are the largest, some of them taller than a person, placed with great care by hands that knew their work, by people who understood that foundations must hold, that what rises must be rooted, that height requires depth. An arched doorway opens into the base, low, wide enough to enter without turning sideways. The keystone above it is carved, a simple pattern, worn nearly smooth by centuries of weather. But it is there, a human touch, a mark of care. Someone wanted this doorway to be more than functional, wanted beauty even here, even in this practical place, even in stone. Inside the base, the air changes immediately, cooler, stiller, contained. The sounds of the forest dim. The wind drops away. The thickness of the stone walls does this, creates a hush, a quiet that is its own kind of presence. The smell of deep time, of years beyond counting. The staircase begins immediately, stone steps, curving upward, following the inner wall of the tower in a slow spiral. Each step is worn in its center, dipped by the passage of countless feet, countless guards, countless nights of ascending, of descending, of the rhythm of watch and rest. Watch and rest. Take the first step now. Feel the stone beneath, solid, reliable, cold through whatever covers your feet, but reassuring in its solidity, in its permanence. This stone will not shift, will not fail, will not give way. It has held the weight of every person who ever climbed here. It will hold yours. The second step, the third, each one the same, warm, cool, certain. The staircase turns, curves. The world beyond the walls disappears entirely. There is only this, only the stone, only the upward spiral, only the breath. Let yourself notice your breathing as you climb. It deepens slightly with the ascent, not labored, not difficult, just fuller, more deliberate, each breath a little more conscious, a little more present, in through the nose, out through the mouth, the cool tower air filling the lungs, the warm breath leaving. Up and up, torchlight flickers in an iron bracket on the wall, set at the midpoint of the climb. Someone placed it here for exactly this purpose, to light the way, to make the ascent possible in the dark. The flame bends and straightens as some breath of air moves through the stones. It does not go out. It is sheltered enough to persist, strong enough to continue, like breath itself, like the steadiness that lives beneath all the movement and noise of life. The steps continue. The spiral tightens slightly near the top. The walls grow closer. The staircase narrows. This is the final approach, the last turning, the last few steps before the world opens again. A wooden trapdoor above, simple, dark wood banded with iron. It is already open, has been open all evening, propped by a notched piece of wood that has served this purpose for longer than anyone can remember. The night air comes down through it, cool, clean, carrying the smell of stars, if stars have a smell. And perhaps they do. Perhaps that clean, high sweetness in night air at great heights is nothing other than the breath of the sky itself. The last step, the threshold, the opening, and then the top of the tower, and then the night, and then everything. The world opens in every direction, all at once, without warning, without preparation. The forest below, the hills beyond, the village far in the distance, its tiny lights warm and golden, the sky above, the stars, so many stars, more than the mind can hold, more than can be counted, more than can be named. Just stars, just light, just the ancient fact of their burning. You have arrived, you have climbed, you have ascended, and now you stand at the top of the watchtower in the deep, quiet of a peaceful night with everything below and the stars above and the wind moving gently across the stone. The view in every direction is wide and still. The world breathes below in its sleep. Villages rest, forests stand. Rivers run on in their slow, dark courses. Everything continues, peacefully, quietly, without urgency. The night holds all of it, contains all of it, keeps all of it safe. The stone battlements stand at the edge of the tower top, thick, chest high, cut in alternating high and low sections. Merlins and crenels, the old language of stone walls. The high sections sheltering, the low sections opening to the view. You can lean against the high section and feel its coolness against your back, its solidity, its deep, patient permanence. This stone has watched uncountable nights pass. It will watch many more. The torch mounted on the inner wall sends its warm light outward, not far. The night is too large for one torch, but enough. Enough to see the stone beneath your feet. Enough to catch the glint of stars in the wet moss between the battlements. Enough to know you are not alone up here. The light is with you. The fire is keeping watch alongside you. The wind comes and goes, soft, unhurried. It touches the face, the hands, moves on, returns. It carries nothing, only itself, only coolness, only the taste of open sky and distant hills. The wind is the voice of this height, the breath of this altitude, and it is gentle tonight, kind, as if it too understands that this is a night for peace, for rest, for the deep quiet that settles when everything below has finally gone to sleep. This is your post, your watch, your peaceful station at the top of the night. Nothing is required of you here except presence, except quiet attention, except the simple act of being here, of standing at this height, of breathing this air, of seeing these stars. The night is yours. The silence is yours. The stars are yours. And far below, the sleeping world is yours to watch over, with no alarm, with no urgency, with only the deepest peace. The wind moves across the stone. The torch holds its small flame. The stars burn above. And the peaceful night begins its long, slow, beautiful watch. The stars are extraordinary tonight. Not a single layer of them, not just a scattering against dark sky. They are deep, layered, some bright and close seeming, some dim and unimaginably distant. The whole breadth of the Milky Way is visible, a river of light crossing the sky from one horizon to the other, soft, diffuse, ancient. This is the light of 100 billion suns, so far away that each individual flame has blurred into the collective glow. A river of time made visible, a river of distance made beautiful. Standing at the top of this tower with the sky this open and this clear, something in the chest responds, something loosens. Something that was held without knowing it was being held simply releases. The sky does this. The genuine vast sky, unobstructed by buildings or trees or the busyness of ordinary places, does something to the body that nothing else can do. It reminds, it restores, is already dissolving. The village below shows its lights, scattered, warm, small from this height, the tiny golden squares of windows, the thin silver thread of the main road, the dark shapes of rooftops. Down there, people sleep. They have finished their days, laid down their tools and their worries and their plans. They have closed their eyes and trusted the night to hold them while they go somewhere else for a while, somewhere quieter, somewhere beyond the reach of daily things. And here, from this height, you hold the watch. You are the one who sees the whole picture, the one who looks out over all of it from this high and quiet place. There is something profound in this role, something ancient. Watchers have always stood at heights like this, in every culture, in every century, that nothing threatens, that those below may sleep in safety. Lift your eyes now from the village, and let them travel to the horizon. The hills are dark shapes against the slightly lighter sky, smooth, rolling. They have the quality of sleeping creatures, enormous, patient, resting. The hills have been here far longer than the tower, far longer than any of the villages below. They will be here long after. They are indifferent to time in the most comforting way. Their permanence is a gift. Their stillness is a teaching. The wind returns, comes from the northwest tonight, steady, soft. It carries the smell of the forest below, pine and earth, and the last of the day's warmth rising off the land. It touches everything up here without preference. The stone does not judge. The torch flame responds to the wind, bends east, straightens, bends again. It has been doing this all evening, all night. This small dance between fire and air. This is its nature. This is what fire knows. How to move without losing itself. The stone beneath your feet is smooth here, worn by the same centuries of feet that wore the stairs. Guards who paced this small circle of space, night after night, season after season. Their footsteps worn into the stone, absorbed by it. The stone remembers in its own way, in the hollows and smoothnesses, in the places where hands rested on the battlements and left invisible impressions of warmth and weight and presence. All that quiet. You are part of that continuity now. One more watcher, one more night, one more person who looked out from this height and saw the stars and felt the wind, and understood something essential about peace. To the east, the moon is beginning to rise. The moon is coming, in its own time, at its own pace, as it always has. The moon has been rising and setting for longer than memory reaches, and it will continue when memory is gone. There is only comfort in this. Let yourself look at the stars again. Choose one, any one. It does not matter which, bright or dim, high or low. Just one point of light among all the points of light. Hold your gaze on it softly, not straining, not working, just resting your eyes on this one small piece of the infinite. Notice that it does not move, that it simply burns, that it has been burning for so long that the light now reaching your eyes left its source before you were born, before your grandparents were born. Something about this cannot be held in the ordinary mind. Somewhere below words, the breathing slows without being directed to. This is what the stars do. This is what the height does. The body responds to scale, responds to deep time, responds to the evidence of something larger and older and more patient than anything the ordinary day contains. The breath finds its natural depth. The torch cracks, a small sound, a settling of the wood, a tiny adjustment of the flame, then stillness again, a small reminder that even in the greatest silence, things are happening. And yet the overall impression is stillness. The village lights have mostly gone out now. One window still glows on the far side, or a thinker who cannot yet put down their thoughts, or someone who simply finds comfort in light when the dark is very large. They are not alone, keeping each other company across the dark. The stars wheel overhead in their slow, imperceptible rotation, the great turning, the ancient dance that has ordered time for as long as time has existed. But there, beneath the stillness, the motion, to see more, to see the whole, to stand above the ordinary and witness the extraordinary that was always there. Only the ascent was required, a breath rather than a wind. It touches the face with particular gentleness, as if it knows, as if it is offering something. The cool hand of the night on warm skin, not separate from the stars or the stone or the sleeping world below, but woven into it. The night deepens, gets quieter, if that is possible, as if it was not yet fully itself when you arrived, and has been settling into its truest nature since then. This is the deepest hour approaching, the hour when even the last lights go out, when even the latest walkers find their beds, when the world commits entirely to rest. And from this tower, you watch it happen, peacefully, without urgency, without needing it to be other than it is. The stars, the stone, the silence, the sleeping world below. All is well. All is continuing. The night is keeping its ancient and faithful watch. There is a silence that is not merely the absence of sound. It lives at the top of this tower tonight. It has settled in over the past hour as the last sounds of the waking world have gone. From somewhere unseen, gone, the calls of night birds that greeted the early dark. What remains is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is what was always underneath the noise, always present. This silence has texture, has weight, has presence, like the feeling inside a cave, like the particular quiet of a library at closing time when every person has finally left. A silence that has been accumulating for centuries up here on this stone. Quiet watches kept by quiet guards who listened to this same silence and heard the same thing in it. Nothing. Everything. The wind has paused. The torch flame, without the wind to move it, burns straight up, perfectly vertical. A clean line of amber light rising to nothing. Not wavering, not bending. Simply burning. This still flame in this still air is like a held breath, like the pause between inhale and exhale. The stars seem closer in this stillness, without the wind to suggest distance, without the movement of air to create perspective. From one to the next, following no pattern, making no map, just allowing the mind to go where the eye goes, without agenda, without destination. Notice how your body feels right now. The particular heaviness that comes with deep relaxation, not the heavy of exhaustion, not the heavy of burden, the good heavy, the heavy of a body that has given up its unnecessary tensions, that has stopped bracing and clenching and holding, that has simply let the weight of itself fall through the surface beneath and into the earth below. This is the body doing what it was designed to do when it finally feels safe, when it finally receives permission, when it finally understands that tonight nothing is required of it, nothing except to breathe, to be, to rest. Somewhere far below in the forest, an owl calls, single, clear, rising into the still air, and then gone. The silence after it is somehow deeper than the silence before. The owl has marked the quiet, defined it, made it more itself by briefly interrupting it. Then the silence closes back in, smooth, complete, as if the owl's call were a stone dropped into still water, the ripples spreading and then gone, the surface still again. The owl, you and the owl, both awake in a sleeping world. The owl's alertness is different, sharper, more purposeful, hunting, but yours is the other kind. That simply is open, present, receiving. The moon has risen now above the eastern hills. It came while attention was elsewhere, while watching the stars or listening to the silence or feeling the particular quality of the still air. It rose without announcement, without ceremony. On the battlements, the torch shows what is close. The moon shows what is vast. The moonlight reaches the forest below, a silver sea of treetops in every direction, deep pools of shadow between the trees where the moonlight cannot reach. The forest floor will be very dark tonight. The rooftops hold it. The river, if there is one, would mirror it. The road reflects it faintly. The village under moonlight is a different thing than the village under daylight. Quieter, more itself somehow. Without the activity and the color and the noise, it becomes simply a collection of shapes. Let the visual world go dark. What remains is the other senses. The cool air on the skin, the smell of the high night, stone and sky, and that indefinable clean sweetness that belongs to open altitude. The feel of the stone beneath the feet, solid, immovable, ancient. The sound of the silence, which is not silence really, but the breath, the almost inaudible sound of the air itself, the very faintest suggestion of the torch flame, the absence of all the sounds that filled the day, when there is nothing to fall toward, when the ground is far below and the sky is close above, and everything is held in the stone circle of the battlements, safe, enclosed, exactly as high as needed, and no higher. The perfect altitude for this particular piece. The torch continues its faithful burning. The wood is good, well chosen, well seasoned. It will burn for hours yet, for the whole of the watch. It keeps burning because that is its nature. Because fire committed to burning does not stop until it is finished. Something worth noticing. The torch burns without sound. The stars burn without sound. The moon moves without sound. The world sleeps without sound. The only sound is the breath. In, out, soft, regular, becoming less distinct from the silence itself, becoming part of it. The breathing quiet. This is the deepest the night gets. The stars burning in their silence. The stone holding its ancient quiet. The sleeping world resting in its deep dreaming dark. And the breath. In, the stars are still. Out, the world is sleeping. In, the silence holds. Out, everything continues. Time moves differently up here. Not faster, not slower, simply differently. Up here, there is only the gradual movement of the stars, the slow arc of the moon, the incremental settling of the fire as the wood burns down. These are patient measures, ancient measures. They do not divide time into urgent pieces. They let it flow. The guard who stands this watch learns something over the hours, learns that time, left to itself, is actually very long, that there is always more of it than the busy mind believes, of the slow wonder that comes from staying in one place long enough to notice everything it has to offer. The night has moved through its middle hours, deep night, the hour when the body's temperature is lowest, when the sleep of those below is deepest, when even the night birds are quieter, when the world has gone as far into rest as it can go before the turning begins. The stone of the battlements is cold against the hands, a clean cold, honest, not painful, just the temperature of stone at the deepest hour. Stone holds the heat of day for a long time, hours into the evening, but by now that warmth is gone. The stone has given it back to the air, to the wind that came and went, and now the stone is its nighttime self, its oldest self, pure mineral cold, ancient and indifferent, and somehow companionable in its honesty. The torch has burned lower, half gone now. It simply burns what is available, fully, without saving any back, without holding anything in reserve. This is all it does, and in doing it completely, it makes light, makes warmth, makes the specific amber beauty of firelight on old stone. There are sounds now that were not there before, small, subtle, the sounds the night makes in its deep hours when all the larger sounds have finished. The settling of the tower stones as they cool, a faint creak in the wooden trapdoor, the sound of the wind coming back, very soft, just at the edge of hearing, moving through the crenels of the battlements with the softest whisper, a breath of sound, then gone, and there again, the night breathing. The stars have shifted, only noticeably if you have been watching them long enough. The great wheel is turned. The constellations have moved, together, maintaining their ancient patterns, their configurations unchanged across more generations of human life than can be counted. Orion stands in the same place in relation to his neighbors, as he did for every person who ever stood at a height like this and looked up. This is a comfort that works below the words for it. Something in the body recognizes the permanence, relaxes into it, says without saying it that if the stars are unchanged, then certainly everything else will continue as it should. The eyes are still open, still receiving whenever light comes. But the active looking has given way to something quieter, to receiving rather than seeking. The difference between searching and allowing, between pursuing peace and letting peace arrive. It arrives in the body first, a warmth that is not from the torch, an inner warmth, the warmth of deep relaxation that the body generates when it is truly at ease, when every muscle has finally given up its holding, when the jaw is soft and the shoulders are low, and the hands are open, and the breath is long, and the mind is gentle with itself. When all of this is happening at once, the body makes its own warmth, its own comfort. The mind at this hour is slow, moving but without urgency. Thoughts, if they come, are not grabbed or followed. Like clouds across the moonlit sky above the tower, present for a moment. Only the contents moving, and then not moving, and then some other content moving, and then not. This is close to sleep, closer than it might seem. The border between deep rest and sleep is soft at this hour. There is no sharp line. Only a gradual deepening, a gradual dimming of the distinction between watcher and watched, between the one who keeps the vigil and the vigil itself. Let yourself feel how close this is, how ready the body is. Since before the breathing, since before the closing of the eyes, and now you are almost there. Almost at the place where the watching becomes resting, where the guarding becomes sleep. Far below, the last light in the village has gone out, to the deep surrendered sleep of people who have finished their day completely. They did not hold anything back. They used what the day gave them. They are done with it. And now they sleep with the thoroughness of those who have given everything, and you have watched them go from this height, in this silence, with these stars. You have seen the last light leave, the one awake while others slept. In breathing this particular cool and starlit air, in feeling the cold of the stone and the warmth within, in hearing the silence and the wind and the small sounds of the deep night. You have been carried somewhere, gradually, without forcing, without even deciding, somewhere very close to the edge of sleep, very close to the place where the watch ends and the rest begins, where the eyes finally close and stay closed, where the mind loosens its last hold on the waking world and lets itself drift. The torch still holds its faithful flame. The watch is kept. The night is at its oldest hour. This is the hour that has no name. After midnight, but before dawn. The deep interior of the night. The hour when the world is most completely at rest. When even the word night is too loud for what this is. This is the wordless hour, the hour before the birds remember their voices, before the sky remembers the light. The stars have moved to the western half of the sky now. The moon is lower now, its light softer, more golden as it descends. The whole tower bathed in this soft ancient light. everything it touches made warm, made golden. The torch has burned down to a steady, smaller flame. The wood is mostly embers now, glowing, deep orange, red at the center. The embers hold great heat, more heat than the earlier flames. Its leap and dance. What remains is quiet, constant, deeply warm. Just the quiet completion of what it set out to do. The wind has stilled completely. For the first time all night, there is no movement of air, except the breath. No whisper through the crenels. No bending of the ember glow. Just stillness. Complete, the most complete stillness of the night. As if the whole world has taken a long, slow breath in and not yet released it. A moment of absolute suspension before the exhale that will be dawn. In this stillness, the stars seem to have stopped moving. They have not. The great wheel still turns, will always turn. But in this stillness, and this quiet, and this hour beyond hours, time itself seems suspended, seems to have agreed to pause, to hold this particular arrangement of light and dark and silence just a moment longer, for you, for this watch, for the completion of this particular night. The body has arrived somewhere very deep now, somewhere below ordinary rest, below the surface levels where thoughts still move and sounds still register, and the world still makes small claims on attention. Below all of that, down to the level where the breath is the only evidence of being, where the body has released everything it was holding without knowing it was holding it, where the face has softened entirely, where the hands lie open and the chest rises and falls with the long, slow tides of the deepest rest. Let yourself be here. Let yourself be this deep. Nothing that requires you to stay on the surface. The tower holds you. The stone holds you. The ancient faithful night holds you. And you can let go of everything. Let go of the day that has passed. It is finished. It cannot be changed. It was what it was, and now it is gone, and it is peaceful to let it be gone. Let go of tomorrow. It has not arrived. It cannot be prepared for from inside this tower on this night. Only the stars and the stone and the ember glow and the breath. The breathing has become very quiet now, very slow. Each inhale arriving without effort, the lungs filling without direction, the exhale leaving without pushing, the body breathing itself. The breath knows what it is doing, has always known. Only the waking mind forgets this. In sleep, the body remembers it knows exactly how to do this. Through the hours of complete surrender, the forest is dark and still. The hills are dark and still. The whole world below this tower is at rest in its deepest dreaming. And from this height, in this final hour of the watch, you rest with them. Hold everything gently. Keep everything safe. Morning will come, because it always comes, but not yet. Not before the deep rest is complete. The embers glow on. They will glow until there is nothing left to glow. Patient, warm, faithful. They do not know they are nearly finished. Embers do not count time, do not measure what remains. They simply burn, fully, in each moment, until they are done. And then they are done. and they leave warmth in the stone around them that persists for hours after. You have kept the watch tonight. From the first step on the first worn stone of the staircase to this final still hour. You have stood at the height and seen the stars and felt the wind and heard the silence and watched the sleeping world below. You have done what watchers do. The world below slept safely under this watch, under this quiet, faithful attention from this height. And now the watch is keeping you. The stars keep their faithful burning above the tower. The stone keeps its faithful holding beneath you. The embers keep their faithful warmth in the iron bracket on the wall. And you keep your faithful breathing. In, out, the last active thing. The one thing the body will continue no matter what the mind decides. Let yourself go now, all the way. The last small part that has been holding on. The part that thought it was still needed, still required to keep some watch. Let that part know that it has done enough, has done exactly enough. The night will finish itself without any help. The stars will complete their arc without any watching. The dawn will arrive in its perfect time without any waiting. You only need to rest. You only need to let the body do what it knows how to do in the dark hours. What it has done through every night of your life. What it will continue to do. Without effort, without attention, without anything from you except this. This final release. The tower stands in the night. It will stand when morning comes. It will stand through all the mornings to come, patient, stone, ancient, keeping its place at the edge of the forest, in the edge of the clearing, under the edge of the sky. That is morning, the warmest ember glow, the softest breath. Here there is only rest. Here there is only peace. Here there is only the long and faithful watch of a quiet night, keeping everything safe, without urgency, in the old way, in the patient way. The stone, the stars, the silence, the sleep. All is well. All is kept. All is peace. Rest now. Rest completely. The night has you. The tower holds you. The watch is done. Your watch is done, dear traveler. The night needs nothing more from you. The village sleeps safely below. The stars burn steady above. And you, faithful guardian, may finally rest. Sleep is coming now, slow and warm and certain, like the dawn that always follows darkness, like the rest that always follows duty. Sleep now. Good night.